name's Tim, bike guy at Royal Distributing. We're here today to learn how to assemble our bicycles. You're going to start by needing a pair of wire cutters or a good pair of scissors. It's important that the scissors are strong because you're going to have to cut through zip ties. To install the handlebars and stem, you're going to need Allen keys, a 4mm Allen key, 5mm Allen key, and in some cases a 6mm Allen key. When it comes time to put the pedals on, it's best to use a pedal wrench, but a lot of you may not have a pedal wrench, in which case a 6mm wrench will do, but as long as you're careful. We're going to begin by removing the bicycle out of the packaging. Be careful not to cut yourself on the sharp edges of the box. It may sound silly, but it's really easy to do and box cuts sting. You can use a pair of scissors to remove the tape, or a box cutter if that's what you have. Fold the flaps of the box back. Remove the seat and the box of parts, and then carefully pull the bicycle out of the box. Sometimes it helps to have a second person holding down the box. If you're careful, you should be able to pull the bike straight out. Begin by removing the packaging. Your wire cutters will be very helpful here. Now we will begin to assemble the parts of the bicycle. First, we will begin by putting the handlebar on to the steer tube of the bike. This is going to be done in 2 stages, one now and one at the end, when we finalize bar position and make sure everything is straight and secure. But we're going to try to get the handlebar out of our way at the start. So for this, we're going to need our 4 and 5mm Allen key. It's these two tools here. This right here is the top cap. It's what applies a compression to hold the bearings of your headset together. You're going to need to remove it. Next, you will slide the stem of the handlebar onto the steer tube. You can decide exactly where you want it positioned on the steer tube by swapping spacers below or above the stem. In this case, I'm going to put my spacers 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top. The spacers have writing on. It looks best if you keep the writing in line and right side up. Fasten the top cap back down with the 5mm Allen key until you start to feel the resistance ramping up. Don't force it, but don't leave it loose. The side bolts on the stem use a 4mm Allen key. We're going to return to these. Make sure they're secure, but don't fasten them overly tight because we'll likely be adjusting it again once the bike is assembled. You'll know you have the handlebar in the correct position if the cables are all routed in the right spots. So, the cables are proper when the rear derailleur cable enters the bike on the same side as the rear shifter. So it should go from shifter to stop. It shouldn't go underneath and around the fork. Same thing with the brakes. The brakes are going to go around into their stop here. Front shifter, from front shifter to cable stop here. The seat tube of your bike will already be greased. We're going to put the seat, we're going to install it. Open the seat clamp, slide the seat in, and then refasten the clamp. You should not be forcing this, but it should not be easily opened. Next, we will install the front wheel. Some of you may have ordered a bicycle that has V-brakes, which are different from disc brakes when installing the front wheel. To do this, you'll start similarly by pulling out the wheel brace, but you will have to open up the brake caliper. To open the front brake, pinch the arms with one hand and pull the conical end of the 90-degree bend out of its fitting. Just like this. Once the brakes are open, take your front wheel and install it with the quick release facing the non-drive side of the bicycle. Be sure that the wheel is sitting firmly in the dropouts, even on both sides. Rotate the skewer and clamp it shut so that it fits in tidy with the front fork. Next, we will return to the brakes and re-secure them in their fitting. They should click into place. Check to see that you've done it properly by pulling the lever a couple times. You should see them open and close without any hesitation. Many of you may have purchased a hybrid bicycle. If that's the case, it likely has an adjustable stem. With an adjustable stem, you can select the posture that you'd like. Just use the side Allen bolt right here. It takes a 5mm key, loosen it, and then you can pivot the stem to a desired angle. In this case, I'm going to select 30 degrees. There's indicators along the side. Match the line with the respective angle, and then fasten the bolt securely. It's very important that you make this tight. You do not want it to come loose while you're riding. After you adjusted the angle of the stem, you're going to have to return the handlebar and adjust it, because since you've pivoted the stem up, the handlebar has angled back. So we'll loosen the face plate with a 4mm Allen wrench. And then rotate the bar until it's in the proper position. These riser bars have an up, lift, and a reverse sweep. Fasten it in an X-like pattern, a little bit at a time, to evenly apply compression forces. Take a look at the top and bottom to make sure that you're not unevenly clamping it. And on the front, there's an indication. You can use this as a visual aid in centering your handlebar. If it's too far to the left, then you're going to need to move the handlebar to the right. Make sure that you've firmly secured the faceplate bolts, because again, if they come loose, it'll be very hazardous while you're riding. Once you have it installed, you can check if the angle is proper by sitting on the seat and reaching to the bar. You should have an even angle here. It's easy to tell that the wheel is straight in the dropouts and that it's centered in the brakes, because you'll rotate it and it will not rub the brakes. Next, we're going to move on to installing the pedals. It's very important that you pay close attention to the pedals before installing them. The right pedal will be labeled right and the left one left. If there aren't stickers on them, you'll be able to find it's stamped into the pedals on the spindle. So we'll match the right pedal with the right crank arm. This pedal will be greased from factory so that it doesn't get stuck. Start by carefully finding the thread. You should not have to force this. Now that the thread is catching, you can start to fasten it simply by pedaling the bicycle backwards. Grab your 15mm wrench, come to the bicycle, grab it on the opposing crank arm, and push down with your body weight. The pedals should be fastened tightly. If you do not install them securely, they will come off with use. Again, using the same steps as we did with the right, we'll install the left pedal. Carefully find the pedal thread. You should not have to force this at any point. Then, once the thread's found, back pedal until you can no longer. Just like we did on the other side, fasten the pedal securely. Our bicycle is completely assembled, but before we go for a ride, we will want to do a safety check to make sure that nothing was overlooked. Start by pinching the tires. Make sure that there is suitable pressure in them. And then, check the quick releases. Make sure that they cannot be easily opened. After, make sure the front wheel is installed firmly. Try to twist the handlebar. Make sure that it's not spinning on the steer tube. And again, try to twist it up and down, making sure that the faceplate is secure. When you shake your bike, it will make some noise as the drivetrain rattles. But listen to it to see if there is an excessive clanking. Pull the brakes to make sure that they both function. Rock the bike back and forth to see that they're catching. And there you have it. That's what it takes to assemble your bike. Happy trails. It's important that you take the time to assemble your bike properly, in that if at any time you feel uncomfortable with what you're doing, you take the bicycle to a local bike store for proper assembly. Mistakes made during the assembly process can cause injury due to bicycle failure.
Forget the matches that they